Andrew, thanks for joining us today on the Home Builders Key, our podcast for Star Building Materials.
Thanks, Storm, for having me on the podcast. I feel like I'm usually the guy asking the questions, so this is a bit weird for me sitting here. Not sure why you wanted me on the podcast, but
your loads of experience.
Right, exactly. Yeah, no. So I've been with Broadview for 15 years. I started out in estimating, worked my way up to estimating manager, and from there I ended up taking on, the next move that you would think is you would do as marketing manager, and kind of here we are today on a podcast with you.
No, that's awesome. No, we're really grateful to have you on here because I know that you do have a whole bunch of experience under your belt in the estimating realm. And, at Star, we deal with the estimators and designers of our builders all the time. So, what are some of the things that, from an estimating standpoint, what are some of the things you guys look for in the builders or in the building suppliers that you work with, and what's maybe some of the stuff that a supplier such as Star helps you guys with your being efficient and being able to reach your home building goals?
Yeah, I think being the estimating manager, the first thing that I would always look for is obviously price.
Yeah.
You want to be competitive in the market. And then the second thing is what will that company do to help with efficiencies for your business? I remember, my boss, we'll say 5 to 8 years ago, and he was like, you guys should be doing your own takeoffs. One, I had no idea how to do a lumber takeoff. And two, why would we not have the professionals do it from your guys' end? So, one of the services that you guys has provided to us was doing all of the takeoffs for us. Saved a bunch of time. The fact that we work under, I guess, the same umbrella company, I always thought it was funny. It's like, well, if the takeoffs are wrong, then we'll just call them to pick up the material and ship it back. So finding efficiencies, I guess, within the company that way was very advantageous. It helped my department not have to hire more people to do the lumber takeoffs and just leave it with you guys as the professionals. There's obviously a system to it, and that was a system that I had no idea how to do. And yeah, that was one of the big things. But yeah, it always came down to price was the first thing. But then there's so much more to it after that. With some of the technology that you guys provide as well, like some of the saws that you guys have, some of these wall panel systems. Another thing that I remember is when we went and did a site tour, you guys did such a good job of marketing the Beast. The saw, right? Yeah. And it's I remember there was these Titleist Pro V1 golf balls that had the Beast logo. People were walking around with the Beast sweatshirts. I got a daytime planner with the Beast and had this logo on it. And so you guys took us for a tour, and I remember being extremely underwhelmed after seeing the Beast because it was just this really long saw. But when you kind of broke it down as to what it did, it cuts every piece to 1/16 of an inch, and it automatically puts in the joist so you're there's less wastage. Being able to put holes for the mechanical through it as a system instead of doing it manually. I think I was a lot more impressed after I learned what it did versus just seeing the system. But yeah, I think finding efficiencies for the whole process of the build is one of the things that we look for. And yeah, you guys have a lot of that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the Beast is definitely one of the things that we like to promote and market the most, but like you said, it does not look like a beast by any stretch of the means. But yeah, I think it's just the automation piece is that something that really we're passionate about, and the fact that it can bring sustainability in a world that sustainability has become so much more important. I think that's we're really proud of that, and the fact that our builders such as you guys can find value in that, we're really excited about that. So yeah, we want to continue to promote using such processes and products and the way that we go about home building, especially here in Alberta. So when you originally, you have a floor plan, you're building in a certain community, and you bring a newer floor plan to start.
Yeah.
Is it something that you like to collaborate with our estimators and our design team on to see if there's a better way of looking at it to tackle it in a way that's going to be more efficient in building the home and maybe even cost efficient and supplying material?
Absolutely. I think when we come to you guys with a plan, we draw the house, we know what we want in the plan, but structurally it's that's what you guys are the professionals at. Mm-hmm. So it's you guys can help us maybe move a wall in the basement where a telepost would go to make that floor plan a lot more efficient. We could maybe take the plan from a 22 foot wide to a 20-foot plan, save a ton of money by being in a different like joist classification.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. The collaboration up front is huge. Instead of us just sending you guys a plan and getting you to design it the way that we've drawn it. Again, like you guys are the professionals, so help us make those plans as efficient as possible, but still provide the best product, I guess, for our clients. Like right now, it's so difficult to save money as a home builder with all the pressures that we have, like with what's going on in the economy, that the best way to save money is by saving time. And it's like if we can lean on you guys for having a quicker process up front where we're getting our plans, the takeoffs put together, the lumber sent out. If we can save any time by utilizing you guys as a trade partner, we will, because it's the best way to save money.
In today's market, with the housing supply that we're dealing with, the housing supply shortage, how important would you say that it has become to have a secondary suite option readily available for people looking to buy a new home?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, we see it more and more in the houses that we're building. One of the things that we're providing our customers is called like a legal suite rough-in.
Mm-hmm.
So if customers want to go all the way and have like lock and key legal suite basement, we can do that. But what we also do is we'll do like a legal suite rough-in where we have a larger hot water tank, we have a second entrance, we have an additional furnace, additional HRV. So we basically prep them down the road. So it's like if they can't afford it up front, but they want to do the work on their own, it's kind of a product that we've been providing our customers, which has gone over really well because, yeah, right now the affordability is a difficult thing.
Mm-hmm.
So to allow people to either put in a legal suite basement is key, or to be able to do it after the fact is huge as well. It's a lot more difficult to add it in after the fact by putting in a side entrance, adding a furnace, doing those things once you've already built your house. So we're kind of trying to prep people for that down the road, which is going over well, and I think people appreciate that.
So you're saying you would say that you've seen quite a large success rate when it comes to having that already readily available.
Yeah.
And so that's not something that they have to be concerned about down the road.
Yeah, for sure. I think it helps people too. Like you can actually use the portion of the rent that you're getting for your basement suite towards getting approved for a higher mortgage as well. So there's a bunch of positives to doing that.
So are you saying that advantage. It could be like beneficial for you to be approved for a certain amount of mortgage, or is that?
Yeah, I think. I mean, everyone's financial situation is different, but when you talk to your mortgage broker, they'll let you know a lot of the things that'll help you do in regards to getting a higher mortgage. I guess was one of the main things when we sat down with one of our partners and did a video series that you can find online.
I think I watched a little bit of that video series, and that's kind of one of the reasons I asked you that question.
Yeah,
but no, it's good. No, it's like having the secondary suite affordable. Like it makes living a little bit more affordable nowadays, right? So no, it's a great thing that you guys are doing, and we're glad to partner with builders who are looking at the needs of all the people that are moving in. I mean, we've seen, we have so many people move in from BC and Ontario. The growth rate in Alberta is probably bigger than it is anywhere else in Canada, right? So it's important to find those types of solutions for the people that are wishing to live here. In terms of all the community, you guys build in so many different communities throughout Calgary and the surrounding area.
Yeah. What
would you say is one of the more interesting communities, or one of the communities you're really passionate about building in, that really that really stands out to you as a Broadview home builder?
I think probably the most unique community that I've seen since I started, I guess, in the industry would be Harmony. I remember starting our first show home there probably 10 years ago, and like having to take in the back road down that dirt road with the big dirt movers, earth movers kind of cruising around, and to see like where it started and where it is today. I mean, it's got Mickelson National Golf Course. It's got that skate park, the climbing wall, the lake. I think they're building a second lake right now.
Yeah.
That community by far is probably one of the coolest things I've seen. I remember we did when they started building the golf course, they actually had Phil Mickelson come out. And a bunch of us got to go there and meet him. And there was a couple other guys there. There was Steve Loy, his agent, and then Rick Smith, which is one of the golf course designers. And I was chatting to Rick Smith as everybody's talking to Phil Mickelson. And I was just talking about the golf course, and he said it was the most earth he's seen moved since Shadow Creek in Las Vegas. I don't know if you're a golfer, but it's probably one of the craziest golf courses you'll ever see. But the amount of dirt that they moved to create that golf course it's insane. And then when you hear the stats about how much earth they move to create those lakes out there, it's incredible. So yeah, I mean, hands down, Harmony's the coolest development that I've ever seen, from like the very start to where it's gotten to today, and it's only getting bigger. So yeah, Harmony's the one.
Okay, well, I mean, I did see that you guys did one of your fly through videos with the fly, the famous Broadview fly, and you guys did quite a nice fly through that community and the whole golf course. And so if you haven't already checked it out, please do check out Broadview's Housefly, up and coming collab. But yeah, no, I mean, the way that you showed off that community, it just, I mean, it really does it justice. But the way to definitely get the whole feel for it is to go out there and actually visit it. I've gotten a chance to go and play on that golf course, the Mickelson golf course, and it's definitely something that, it's pretty mind blowing that we have, such a golf course of that stature within the Calgary area. And the fact that you got to meet Phil Mickelson, that's pretty cool as well.
Yeah, it was very cool.
Especially you as a golf nano influencer. So I'm sure
that
might have been
just to be clear, that wasn't me flying the drone, by the way. That was a professionally hired drone flight.
I know you don't have that much skill, but the idea was there, right? Yeah. Okay, so now with we're having to put up so many houses here in the city of Calgary and the whole province of Alberta, just pretty much everywhere. But what would you say, what are some of the things that Broadview or the home building industry is doing to kind of alleviate the labor shortage supply, or is there something that you think that needs to be done more to that regard?
So I feel like that's more on the trade side of things,
that we're trying to bring in more.
I don't know, make more machines, have more AI, figure it out.
All right. Well, we'll show you what we're doing when you come do that site tour. Okay. So what would you say now, you used to be in estimating, now you're in marketing. What would you say is something like one of the most proudest moments that you've had with regard to a Broadview show home that you have up in the city of Calgary?
Man, I didn't prepare for that question.
It was on the list.
Right. No, I guess one of the, maybe not, well, just I guess a proud moment would be when you create a show home that people love and purchase. And when at the end of the year and you look, we've got a plan, the Concord 2. It's a lane product that we built a show home in, and it is our most popular plan by, probably 50% of our sales were based off that one model. So it's like when you nail that show home with what people want, and it's proven by, the purchases that are made, I think that would be a proud moment when it comes to a show home. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything.
What are all the communities that you can get that model in?
Hotchkiss in the southeast of Calgary, Vermilion in the southwest, Ambleton in the northwest, Southbow and Cochrane.
Yeah, I think I went and visited the Ambleton one.
Yeah, we've got some Bridgeport and Chestermere's coming up, Huxley, nice. Just east of Stony Trail, that's going to be there as well. But yeah, it's definitely a plan that a lot of people like. And so yeah, when you get your show home, when you nail your show home with the proper model that people want, I think that's a proud moment. Yeah,
no, that's I know it's a very well designed floor plan from what I've seen as well. You get your kitchen and living room downstairs, but upstairs you have 3 bedrooms and a bonus room as well. Yeah. And you're still maximizing on the space that you have. You still have quite a bit of lot space that you have, for a yard space if you have a family or what have you.
And you did your homework on this. You actually looked it up.
I didn't look it up. I actually went and visited it.
Oh wow.
That's where I got those floor plans from that I was showing you.
Are you looking to buy a house right now?
No, okay. I'm not looking. I could be. Maybe that might be something that interests me. But
well, yeah, we'll talk after the podcast. We'll talk after the podcast.
Yeah. So, no, I know that you fly a drone quite often. What would you say is one of the more... have you ever flown it through one of your show homes before, or?
I have, yeah. I have one time.
Yeah.
this would have been last year in Hudson and Creekstone. We had a house that was, the whole back of the house is one window. So it's like floor to ceiling. It's like a 18-foot floor to ceiling height. And this house had like this beautiful fireplace with, a big tile feature. And I thought it'd be a good time to go try and maybe fly my drone in that house because there's a bunch of room. I had just gotten the drone, flew the drone up, everything was good. And then I had one of the site assistants ask me a question on like the scheduling software that we used. So I assumed the drone was just going to stay in one position, but it was just a little bit off kilter and it started going sideways. I didn't even see it, but it ended up hitting the top of the wall and then going all the way down the wall and scraping the wall as it went, landed on the ground, snapped both arms off the drone.
Oh, geez.
And the customer was moving in the next day.
Oh, Jesus.
So, yeah, it was a bit of an awkward conversation with the construction manager and whatever conversation he had to have with the client. But we ended up fixing it. It just took a couple coats of mud and some paint. But, yeah, I don't fly the drones in the house anymore, and I will try and hire out if I can.
Well, Did you at least get some captivating content out of that? Or?
You know what? I'll send you the clip.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a very good shot.
I feel like I've heard a little bits and parts of that story before.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to hear it from you.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is something that you've come across that when you were in estimating or even in marketing. Have you had somebody like come to you with a customization question about like a crazy or wild ask that you're like, this is just not going to be possible? Or is that?
Yeah, I mean, definitely when I was, in the estimating manager role for sure, it was like as soon as Pinterest and House and all those kind of things came out on social media, the requests started getting wilder and wilder. But I mean, yeah, we'd see the craziest things. One of the things that I remember is somebody wanted to put on their third story like a lap pool, like one of those stationary lap pools. It's probably, I don't know, 20 feet. But yeah, I mean, you see silly requests all the time, but that one definitely stuck in my mind for sure.
So what did you do? Did you do anything to try and meet them halfway?
No, not really. Like just kind of came up with a price, and we knew it was going to be too expensive anyways. But the other one I see all the time that I laugh as a golfer is people trying to put a golf sim in an 8-foot basement or a 9-foot basement. Just got to shake your head because they're going to do it anyways. But yeah, that's one where I'm always just like, no, this is a bad idea. Those are that's probably the craziest one. There's definitely more that I can't think of. But yeah, ever since Pinterest and House came out, like the requests that we'd get were, here's a picture, how much does it cost?
You have this really strong estimating background, but now you're working in the marketing realm and you've been, pretty successful at it from what I can see. What would you say that interested you into that marketing realm and in home building?
Yeah, with marketing, like I always liked, when I was in high school, I always loved editing videos, whether it was like a ski video or just like a trip video. Yeah. I'd always get like, it was just that one moment where you just like lose track of time. You're just like editing and you get into the beat of the song and trying to cut the clips perfectly together. So that was like my initial love for, I guess, something to do with marketing was the video editing side of it. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, some of the stuff that I was posting, I guess, on my own personal Instagram caught the eye of my boss. So then I ended up, getting into the marketing side, and wow, did I realize there's a lot more to marketing than just editing videos and posting on Instagram. But yeah, it's been a fun journey for sure. It's there's a lot more to it, and it's a lot more. It's changing every day, it feels like. So it's a lot different in estimating in that regard, where it's every day you can learn something, or it's just constantly evolving. Estimating seemed like, not that it got old, but it wasn't changing as quickly as marketing. But yeah, that was and that was my original, I guess, love for the marketing side, was just editing videos and going out and filming and doing stuff like that. So
totally. What would you say is one of the most interesting structures that you've got to capture content of, whether it's a home build or any structure just in general?
I love doing that, the Harmony Housefly video. That was super fun. I thought that was a great way to showcase the area in a quick yet informative way that was still somewhat interesting to watch. I mean, always flying a drone through a house is cool too. I think just the housefly stuff that we did was a really cool way that I like to showcase, the house. We did it with Divine Flooring as well as a community. I thought that was a cool way to do it. So I don't know if I really answered your question, but
No, I think so, because I really enjoy those videos, and definitely kept me glued in for the whole duration of the videos.
Okay. What has been your proudest moment in marketing for Star Building?
I would definitely say the after party. My proudest moments at Star Building, I would say, just being able to showcase all the product, like all the innovative processes that we offer. I think since I started with Star, like every day I'm learning something new, and like every time I go on site, something eye-opening happens. For example, just a couple months back, we went and did this. We went to go capture content of this delivery that was being done to a home builder. The first time that we ever delivered anything to this home builder. And we just wanted to capture content like, oh, it's the first time we're working with, collaborating with this home builder. And then so when we got on site, originally we had brought a flatbed, semi truck to come deliver the product, but it was in an already developed area where we were delivering the product. And so the only way to deliver that product to that site was through the alley with the moffett that came on this flatbed. But now it was wintertime, so when this moffett went into the alley, there was like a pathway already, almost divots of tire tracks, and so the moffett would go into these divots and like kind of go left and right, and then the moffett driver just ended up coming back out, and he's like, I don't feel safe to go here, like I'm gonna probably crash into something. So we're like, okay, what are we gonna do? We're gonna have to reschedule this. And then we called our logistics guy, and he's like, hold on there, I've got another truck close by, let's see if we can get him to come out there and help. And it was a 3-ton truck. He came. The 3-ton truck actually had a boom crane on it. So what they ended up doing was taking all the product. Well, they took half the product off that flatbed and moved it on the 3-ton truck. And then the 3-ton truck went in the alley and used the boom crane and maneuvered through all the obstacles that were in the way to deliver that product. Came back out, got the rest of that shipment from that flatbed onto that 3-ton truck as well. It took some time, but we eventually ended up getting all that product to the site on that same day, the way that we had promised. And I'm like, we do all of this? So it was, like, I know that we have a huge fleet and that we have, drivers very capable of delivering product to site. But the way, like, all the equipment that we have, all the solutions that we have, like, it made me feel like we offer the complete solution to the home builders, and that's something that I feel like we need to showcase a little bit more, and that's something that it made me really proud to be a Star employee, I would say.
So as a marketing guy, did you get any content of this?
Yeah, I did, and I posted it online. If you were actually checking it out, you would see it.
Fair enough, I didn't. Yeah, you're right.
I only posted it on Instagram. Maybe I should have posted on LinkedIn, but I captured all that content. I put it together into a short 1-minute video. I don't know if it quite did it justice, but I tried showing every aspect of that delivery. But stuff like that is very something that's very exciting for me to be able to promote. And I would say, the equipment like the Feed the Beast that we talked about earlier, the way that it's helping build more sustainably, I feel like that's something that's very important in today's industry. And also, like, we have our prefabricated wall panels that we're building. We have this equipment made by Simpson Strong Tie. It's able to read a floor plan and cut all the pieces of wood accordingly, accurately, and our guys actually build, our team actually builds the wall panel on site before we deliver it to the project site. Yeah. So it saves the home builders times as well, because now where you have a framing crew, it takes them to frame a house maybe 2.5 to 3 weeks. Now it's cutting that down to maybe a week and a half. So it's helping put up more houses in a shorter frame of time. So that's very important in today's world, and that's something that I'm glad that I work for a company who's able to help the home builder in such a way.
Okay, that makes sense. I got a question about Ride Through the Rockies.
Sure.
Tell me about Ride Through the Rockies.
Yeah, well, Ride Through the Rockies, that's more of our Vice President Ken Crockett's deal. And that's just kind of a way to give back to community. You know, we work with Habitat for Humanity. All the funds that are raised through this Ride Through the Rockies fundraising initiative go straight to Habitat for Humanity so that they're able to put up some affordable homes for people. Our vice president brings together industry. It's not just his network. It's people that are working within the home building industry, whether they're suppliers, home builders, or even competitors. We bring them all together for this one cause. Habitat for Humanity really, it fits what we are trying to do as a home building supplier, and being able to give back to the community who's looking to get into a home, and we all know how expensive it is to be a homeowner nowadays. So being able to get a hardworking family into a home like that and getting industry together to do that, I feel like it's a really good for building, not only building community, but just to kind of show hardworking families that we're behind them, we're there to support them as well.
So are you gonna sign up and do the race?
No. I mean, I'm more than happy to support through the stress of volunteering, but as you can probably attest to as well, trying to do that ride is a whole different animal. And I know that you tried. You didn't try. You actually went and did the Ride Through the Rockies one year. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience at Ride Through the Rockies?
Yeah, that was kind of like a one and done thing. It was good to be a part of it. Definitely not a big bike rider. I don't think I'll ever bike 350 kilometers in 3 days again. Bought my bike a couple months before and sold it 2 days after the ride. But yeah, it was cool to be a part of it. It's super cool what Ken does in regards to Ride Through the Rockies, and the amount of money that he raises for that, for Habitat for Humanity is incredible. But I definitely think you should get on a bike and do it.
Well, I've asked Ken before. I'm like, if you would allow me to bring an e-bike, I might consider joining. He's like, no, sorry, brother, I don't allow e-bikes. So I think the chances are pretty slim that I actually end up participating in the ride. But hey, it's quite a big stress to try and organize that event too. So
I'd probably rather ride it than organize it. So good for you.
Yeah. So there's that. So I'll keep organizing, but I don't know if I have the stamina and the willpower to do those 350 kilometers over 3 days.
Yeah.
Do you know of any features that you guys offer that any other home builder doesn't offer?
Well, it's hard to break it down, like, I guess, per builder, but yeah, there's certain things we definitely like to include, things that other builders don't include. So it's included versus an upgrade after the price. So it's like a 9-foot basement. Ceiling is a good one. A lot of people just do 8-foot basements, but you can't really add 9-foot after the fact. So trying to build value in the house, like gas range, hood fan, cabinets to ceiling, 200 amp panel. Like, we try and future proof the house for certain things that you really don't want to add after the fact. Like, in today's day and age, everyone's got like electric guitar, an electric car. They want to add a hot tub. They want to add all these things, but if you don't have the panel to provide the electricity to those items, you'll have to upgrade after the fact. So just putting some of that stuff up front, I guess, and just knowing what builder includes for specifications. We definitely like to increase ours a bit. So we might not be the best price, but once you start adding all these things in, we probably would be.
So is that something that comes standard with your homes, is those panels, or is that something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's things that come with every single house. Like when I was talking about the Legal Suite Ruffins, that comes in, 3 areas. It's a standard. It comes in every single house that we build. So yeah, we definitely like including things that other builders would call upgrades.
Okay.
Yeah, another reason why you should build with Broadview. I think this year we'll be in 13 communities. A lot of our focus is on kind of that starter product, like that 1,500 square foot to 18 square foot detached home. So a lot of people, that's like, their first home. I feel like the market's definitely gotten a lot more expensive in the last 3 years. So it's almost like a move up product now, like where people are starting in, a townhome, row house, maybe an apartment, and then they're moving up into like that lane product. But that's definitely our focus. We're still in other areas too, with like, estate homes in like Hudson and Creekstone. And then front attached garages, like your typical move up in areas like Rivercrest. We still have some stuff in Harmony. But that's kind of the future of Broadview, I guess, and where we're going. But yeah, I mean, we're constantly just looking to try and make what we provide in our houses something that people want. Like, you know, we created the slogan, putting homeowners in the houses we'd build for ourselves.
Yeah.
And it's honest. It's just, you know, we like to think about what we would want in our houses, and that's what we're putting in the houses that we're building for everyone else.
No, that makes sense. No, I love that slogan because, I mean, why wouldn't you want to build a house that you wouldn't live in yourself? Kind of thing.
So, Dharm, you said you were looking at buying a house. What is one feature that you would want to include in your house?
I don't know. I don't know. I know it's maybe I'm wrong, but it feels like it might be a little bit dated. Is the jacuzzi? I really like the jacuzzi feature. Is that something you guys offer?
Like the heart-shaped jacuzzi,
Yeah.
like in Dumb and Dumber?
No, it doesn't got to be heart-shaped. It's just as long as it's
one.
jacuzzi, yeah.
You're a big bath guy, hey?
Yeah, I mean, not really, but it's therapeutic.
Okay, yeah, interesting. You know, I haven't heard that one, but I mean, we could definitely do that for you. I don't know if
you off guard, eh?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
As long as it's part of the...
Yeah, that we don't include that as standard, but
so
I'm sure we could work something out for you.
Okay, I'll hold you to that. We'll talk after. I mean, no, other than that, I would say open concept, you know, huge island, or just, you know, counter space. I think counter space is one of the biggest things, especially if you're having like a large get together,
Totally.
you know, and it's a number of you cooking for several people. A lot of times when you're, you know, having Thanksgiving or something, everybody's working together to prep the meal or what have you. I feel like counter space and having an open concept living space is probably one of the most key things that people are looking for nowadays, and that's something that I would say is
kitchen's the heart of the home for sure. I think people have just kind of like slowed down. Like the last 3 years have been so crazy, and then, you know, with everything that's going on with these tariffs, interest rates are going down. It's given people a lot more. People seem a little bit worried to pull the trigger, so they're like just kind of waiting to see what happens. I think the new government coming in, there's a lot more inventory of new builds now than there was the last 3 years. Like, I still don't think we've caught up to the demand with our supply, but it's definitely we're definitely getting more houses on the market. Like MLS listings, I think, are up year over year, like 100%. So, yeah, I think people are just taking a bit of a break. Like the one thing that we talk about, like within our office, is that, you know, families are never going to stop growing. So it's like, you know, they're always looking to move up into a house that has a little bit more space from, you know, like I said, that apartment. So, you know, the kids can have their own bedrooms. Like, families are always going to grow. It's just I think they're just a little bit more hesitant on pulling that trigger to see what happens with everything that's going on. I mean, that's my opinion. I don't know if everyone else would agree with that, but yeah, it's definitely slowed down a little bit, but the demand is still there, and I think it's going to pick up.
What do you see to be true in terms of like the kinds of amenities that need to be, you know, nearby for you know, families that are looking to move to a new home? What's very important in a home buyer's decision?
A big one, like it seems to be one of the first questions is like schools, right? It's like, where's my kid going to go to school? I mean, you can't have, like, every community can't be like Harmony, but when you go to Harmony, it really feels like an actual community. You see kids ripping around on their bikes, playing at the lake. I think a community like that has the amenities that really turns into an area that you'd want to, you know, raise a family. But definitely a big thing is schools, paths. I think just like safety for your kids. Like being out in Harmony, there's so many places to go, like all these different paths that, you know, the kids are just ripping around on their own, which you don't see that anymore. With, you know, kids on their phones and tablets and all that stuff. But true. Yeah, I think Harmony's just a prime example of all the different amenities that a community can have to make it a great place to raise a family. And you see that and you feel that when you go out there. We
went to that home building summit, you and I, last year in Edmonton. Would you say that there was anything that stuck out to you in terms of all the tours that you and I did? You know, we visited a couple of houses and Other than the fact that you learned that I had my black belt, was anything else that?
Yeah, yeah. No, I definitely still don't believe that. But I think some of the stuff on that one tour where they're incorporating a lot of like technology, whether it be like Res VR where you can see like the inside of the house digitally, that's super realistic. I thought that was cool. They had a lot of like interactive maps that you could touch and find different floor plans. But I do think one of the best things of that seminar that we went on was seriously just like connecting with like-minded people like you, or from different business units within the Qualico group of companies that you can kind of lean on for answers or questions that you have, right? Like everyone has obviously strengths and weaknesses, but there's just a lot of people that you can kind of talk to about getting help or just getting ideas, really. And I think that was the biggest thing of that seminar. Plus there's cool speakers and there's definitely some cool tours. But yeah, I think the biggest thing I pulled away from that was just connecting with like-minded people in the marketing and sales.
For sure. Yeah, no, I definitely would say that I learned a lot about the home building sector, and how, the industry, it's a little bit different depending on where. Alberta in general is pretty strong in the home building sector, but if you're marketing in home building in Edmonton, you're gonna have to approach it a little bit differently than what you would approach it in Calgary, right?
Oh, for sure. It's crazy to look at the difference even between prices from Calgary to Edmonton.
Yeah,
like it's unbelievable. Like why is it so different? But yeah, it's very different industries from Texas to Vancouver to Edmonton to Saskatchewan to Calgary. It's wild.
So with both Star and Broadview being part of the Qualico group of companies, there's quite a benefit there in terms of the vertical integration that we have, just to kind of help make sure that we all reach each other's goals. What do you see as the biggest, or one of the biggest benefits of our vertical integration model within Qualico?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like there's a lot of benefits to the vertical integration. I think the one thing is just the relationships that you build within that vertical integration, I guess, as we're saying, like, I can call when I was the estimating manager, call someone from Star on your guys' end, and it's almost like having a brother. Where it's like, dude, like, what are you doing? Like, be better. And it's, you can honestly openly
like you've told me before.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're marketing. Like, come on, man. No, but it's just like the communication and the relationships that you build, that you can be really upfront and honest with each other. Like at the end of the day, we're trying to reach the same goal. We're all trying to make money. We're trying to be as efficient as possible, and to have that whole from start to finish, from like developing the land to building the homes, to supplying the material, to supplying the tradesmen to build these houses. I think from start to finish, it's so important, and it's just easier when you're all I mean, a lot of us are in the same building, so it's to have that face to face too. I think is super key, instead of always being hidden behind an email where it's key, right? There's like every single layer of the home building that is run under the Qualico company, and it's pretty cool.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sorry. Like we can also talk about like, going back to that communication point where, you guys are trying to build your budget. So you talk to us, and, we'll tell you how many houses we think we're going to build. Are you going to have the trades? Are you going to have the suppliers? Are you going to have the material? Like it's just communication at the end of the day to create those efficiencies. But yeah, it's pretty cool to see, Qualico and what they've created over the last 70 years from just building homes.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, like you said, that communication piece, it's like since we're always communicating, we always know, we have it at top of mind, like, okay, we got to make sure that we help, Broadview to hit this many homes so that they're able to meet their customer expectations. And then we have companies like Empire Drywall who will work together, because you guys source, your roofing shingles from them, and we come and we help make sure that we deliver that service in combination with Empire. And then, you guys send your customers to us to come and get their estimating done for their door products or interior finish. We all work together to make sure that the end goal is achieved for your to make your customer happy at the end of the day, right? So
Yeah, exactly. It's the big goal.
yeah. Thanks so much, Andrew, for coming to the Home Builder's Key and giving your time and, you know, sharing a little bit of insight of what you do at Broadview and what we do to work with each other to help each other, you know, be successful, and sharing a little bit of insight with our viewers. And you know, it was fun having you, and we would definitely love to have you back once again if you were willing to.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. I definitely thought there was gonna be hair and makeup, but
yeah, no, I'll talk to the video production crew about that for next
exactly.
time.
Yeah, no, thank you.